Hey guys, how are you? Myself here we are analyzing, we are reading the news of 3rd and 4th December of 2023. Today's first news is Guideline for Prevention and Regulation of Dark Patterns 2023 notified by Central Customer Protection Authority CCPA. So, what is this news? Why the CCPA has released the guidelines? Why it is in news? Guidelines are notified under the Customer Protection Act CPA 2019. Dark pattern refers to practices adopted by online platforms that mislead people into paying for items or services they did not intend to the originally. Key provisions are here: prohibitions against engaging in dark patterns applicable all platforms offering goods or services in India, advertisers and sellers. In case of ambiguity or dispute, the decision of the CCPA means Central Consumer Protection Authority shall be final. CCPA is a statutory body established under CPA 2019. CPA means Consumer Protection Act 2019. It lists 13 dark patterns. Some dark patterns are here, like basket skinning, confirm shaming, subscription trap, interface interferences, bait and switch, nagging, software as a service, billing, or next is raw malware. Dark patterns like basket sneaking. What is basket sneaking? Inclusion of additional items such as products etc. at the time of checkout. And confirm shaming, use of phrase, video etc. to create sense of shame etc. Subscription trap making cancellation of paid subscription impossible, hiding the cancellation options etc. And interface interferences, design elements to highlight certain specific information, obscure relevant information. And bait and switch, advertise a particular outcome based to the user's action but uh, deceptively serving an alternate outcome. Nagging, enjoying user by repeated interactions. Software as a services, billing. Software as a service, SaaS, billing. No notification is given to the user when free trial is converted to paid. Raw malware, using ransomware and scareware to mislead users. Next is Union Minister for Jal Shakti release dynamic groundwater resources assessment report for country 2023. 2023 Union Minister for Jal Shakti releases dynamic groundwater resources assessment report for country 2023. The assessment was carried out jointed by the Central Groundwater Board CGWB and states UTs. CGWB means Central Groundwater Board is an apex organization of Ministry of Jal Shakti dealing with groundwater and related issues formed in 1970. Annual groundwater recharge for the entire country is 449.08 billion cubic meter BCM, 11.48 BCM more than in 2022. The increases may mainly be attributed to an increase in discharge from canal, seepage, return flow of irrigation water, and water bodies, tanks, and water conservation structures. Rainfall contributions of nearly 60% of the total annual groundwater recharge. Annual groundwater extraction in 241.34 BCM means billion cubic meter. Steps taken by the government of the groundwater conservation, national acquire mapping and management to delineate aquifers, prepare management plan, etc. Atal Bhujal Yojana focuses on demand side interventions and convergence of schemes for groundwater management. Master Plan for Artificial Recharge to Groundwater 2020 includes artificial recharge in rural and urban areas. Jal Shakti Abhiyan has a special emphasis on rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge. Region of extraction. Some regions are here like unregulated extraction like groundwater is regarded as a common pool resource, and excessive irrigation triggered by the green revolution since in 1970s. Climate change. Next issue is climate change. Disturbances in the hydrological cycle causing long spells of floods and droughts. Poor knowledge of groundwater management system. All these are some reasons for extraction. Our today's next news is COP28 UAE Declaration on Climate and Health unveiled. It has been released by United Arab Emirates UAE in partnership with the World Health Organization WHO. Initiative is aligned with the first ever Health Day organized by the Conference of Parties COP of UNFCCC. Objectives: plan health at the heart of climate action and accelerated the development of climate resilient, sustainable, and equitable health system. It also aims to promote One Health approach. This approach recognizes the interconnection between people, animals, plants, and their shared environment. Endo- Endorsed by it, signed over 120 countries, including US, UK, Brazil, etc. India hasn't signed it yet. Need of declaration. Rise of pollution related morbidities. About 9 million people die annually. According to Lancet report, about 9 million people die annually due to pollution related morbidities. Next is exposure of extreme weather events. 198 million people are exposed to extreme events like storm and floods, etc. Other is low income countries are highly vulnerable as they have poor infrastructure, etc. In order to implement the declaration, COP28 guideline principle for financing climate and health solutions were also unveiled. Moreover, Asian Development Bank announced the launch of a new climate and health initiative to support the health related commitment. Now we'll know about steps taken by India to mitigate health risks associated with climate change. Some steps are here. National Action Plan on Climate Change and Human Health. Next is early warning alert of environmental concerns. Next is environmental health uh, surveillance. And next is National Health Mission funds. Fund are uh, provided to states, UTs to implement green low carbon emission measures. India Public Health Standards IPHS 2022 provides principles of green and climate resilience hospitals. Today's next is an eye on methane. International Methane Emission Observatory IMEO report 2023 released. Report provides decision makers as a framework of action to track and monitor methane emission to plan targeted and ambitious actions for the migrations uh, for their mitigation. Global anthropogenic methane emissions are responsible for about 30% of the Earth's warming being experienced today. Major contributions: energy, agriculture, and waste sectors. Key measures required to curb emissions. Curb mapping hospitals to take specific actions, promoting gas mapping, LIDAR, light detection and ranging to detect emission leakage from mines, using methane from wastewater treatment plant as a fuel. Initiative taken: Global Methane Pledge launched at COP26 2021 to catalyze action to reduce methane emission. India is not a signatory. Global Methane Initiatives, international public-private partnership to support methane to energy projects. Measures in India: National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture, India GHG program, industry lead, voluntary framework, Govardhan scheme, etc. IMEO works under the UN Environment Program, UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, launched at the G20 Leaders Summit 2021. It gathers data from satellites through methane alert and response system Mars and oil and gas methane partnership 2.0 means OZMP 2.0, etc. Mars was launched at COP27 2022. Now we will know what is CH4 methane. Its molecular formula is CH4. It is a powerful greenhouse gas, 12-year lifespan. It has a global warming potential more than 80 times greater than of carbon dioxide. It's also primary contributor of the formation of global ground level ozone, etc. Our today's next news is India re-elected to the International Maritime Organization IMO Council for 2 years. So India re-elected the International Maritime Organization IMO Council for 2 years. India re-elected it IMO Council for 2 years. IMO means International Maritime Organization Council for 2 years. India's re-election falls under the category of 10 states with the largest interest in international seaborne trade. IMO is responsible for the safety and security of shipping and preventing marine and atmospheric pollution by ships. Role of IMO for environmental protection: MARPOL Convention covers pollution of the marine environment by ships from the operational and accidental causes. Particularly sensitive sea areas (PSSA) is a special area designed by the IMO for extra protection due to its importance for ecological, socio-economic, and scientific reasons. Next is London Convention. London Convention, overseen by IMO, extends ocean protection beyond ships by regulating sea waste dumping, climate change mitigation like carbon capture and storage, etc. Now, what is the role of IMO in maritime safety and security? IMO means International Maritime Organization. So what is the IMO's role? First is SOLAS Convention. SOLAS, SOLAS. It sets standard for ship constructions, equipment, and operation to ensure the safety of life at sea. Next is stopping piracy and armed robbery. Stopping piracy, globally integrated shipping information system and Djibouti Code of Conduct are some of the steps taken by IMO. Checking drug smuggling, IMO's Maritime Safety Committee MSC works on matters related to the prevention and uh, suppression of drug smuggling on ships. Now we'll know about IMO, International Maritime Organization. IMO, its headquarters in London. It is a specialized agency of the United Nations established in 1948. The organization consists of an assembly of a council and 5 main committees along with the subcommittees. 175 members and 3 associated members. India is a member. IMO Council acts as the executive organ of IMO. Our today's next news is global renewables and energy efficiency plays signed by 118 countries, 118 countries on the sidelines of annual UN Climate Summit 2030 COP, Conference of Parties 28. It aims to triple the global installed renewable energy capacity to at least 11 gigawatt and to double the global energy efficiency improved rate of more than 4% by 2030. It phased down unabated coal power and end to the financing of new coal-fired power plants. Its goals was mentioned in the New Delhi to G20 declaration. It has the potential to avoid greenhouse gas emissions by about 7 billion tons of CO2 equivalent. So plays will enable collaborate on resilient value chain and technology development, expand financial support for scaling renewable energy, enhance technology support and capacity building for developing economies, accelerated cross-border grid interconnections. All the G20 countries bearing India, China, and Russia have signed on the pledge. India didn't sign the pledge as India, as the part of nationally determined contributions, NDC has committed to install 500 gigawatt of electricity from the non-fossil fuel sources by 23. India has mentioned the coal is and will remain an important part of India's energy mix because India will witness the largest energy demand growth over the next 30 years, which may not be met by renewable alone. So we'll know about some related news. Declaration of triple nuclear energy DTNE. Declaration to triple nuclear energy DTNE was launched at COP28. Its objective is to triple world's nuclear energy capacity. It recognized the key role of nuclear energy in achieving global net zero greenhouse gas emission by 2050. It is endorsed by 20 countries, which include the United States, Japan, Ghana, and several European countries. India isn't part of it. Now we'll know also short news about some news is first is BRIC, Biotechnology Research and Innovation Council, BRIC. Biotechnology Research and Innovation Council. Recently, the Union Minister of the State for Science and Technology addressed the first ever meeting of BRIC Society. BRIC is an apex autonomous society formed after the uh, rationalization of 40 anonymous institutions of the Department of Biotechnology. It aims to achieve it aims to achieve centralized and unfired governance to maximize the impact of biotech research across the country. Next is WHO's annual malaria report 2022. In 2022, there were a estimated 249 million malaria cases globally. India accounted for 66% of malaria cases in WHO Southeast Asia region. India saw a 30% decline in malaria cases and 34% decline in deaths in 2022 as compared to 2021. The report cites achievements such as the rolling out of WHO's recommended malaria vaccines RTS and R21 metrics about malaria. It is caused by uh, Plasmodium parasites. It is transmitted through the bites of female Anopheles mosquitoes. Our next news is National Financial Report Authority NFRA. National Company Law Appellate Tribunal NCLAT has upheld the penalty imposed by NFRA on auditors of Dewan Housing Finance Corporation Limited DHFL. What is the National Financing Reporting Authority NFRA? It is constituted under the Companies Act 2013 to improve quality of all corporate financial reporting in India. It observes it observes it observes it oversees sorry it oversees compliance with accounting and editing standards by companies that can be described as public interest entities, PIE, public interest entity. This group includes all the listed company and large unlisted companies, etc. Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Today's next news is AUKUS, ACUS. AUKUS कह सकते हैं, we can say AUKUS. AUKUS means Australia, United Kingdom and United States group has signed agreement to jointly operate Deep Space Advanced Radar Capacity DARC. Deep Space Advanced Radar Capacity DARC will enhance collective space domain awareness. AUKUS. It is a trilateral security partnership launched in 2021. It has intended strengthen the ability of such each government to support security and defense interests, such as providing nuclear submarine to Australia. It will promote deeper information sharing and technology sharing and foster deeper integration, etc. Today's next news is uh, Crimes in India 2021 report. Report is released by National Crime Reports Bureau, NCRB, National Crime Record Bureau. National Crime Record Bureau NCRB, constituted in 1986, functions under Ministry of Home Affairs. Crime rate registered per lakh population has declined from 445.9 in 2021 to 422.2 in 2022. Majority of causes under crime against women were registered under cruelly by husband and relatives, 31.4%. The rate of major crimes in comparison to 2021 has increased, such as economic offenses by 11.1%, cyber crimes by 24.4%, and human trafficking causes by 2.8%, crime against scheduled caste SC by 13.1%. WHO Global Clinical Trial Forum. The first WHO Global Clinical Trial Forum was held. It endorsed a global vision for sustainable clinical research infrastructure. Objectives of the forum: develop a joint vision on strengthening clinical research capacities, provide an update on clinical research capacities, priority action for strengthening the clinical trials ecosystem, improving coordination and streamlining for regulatory and ethics review and approval processes, addressing barriers to clinical trials in underrepresented populations such as children and pregnant women, enabling clinical trials with digital and information technologies, etc. Our next news is Climate Club. It is launched at COP28 of UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It's an open, inclusive, high-level forum of cooperation on climate action, particularly decarbonization of industry. It will support the implementation of Paris Agreement 2015 goals. It was the first proposed by Germany during a G7 summit meeting in 2022. G7 is an informal grouping of advanced economies. It includes United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and United Kingdom. Now here 36 countries are a member. India isn't a member of it. Interim Secretariat, Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, Economic Cooperation and Development, and International Energy Agency, IEA. Our next news is solar wind. Solar wind ion spectrometer, Swiss. Swiss means solar wind ion spectrometer. Solar wind ion spectrometer, Swiss, the second instrument in Aditya Solar Wind particle experiment. Aspects: payload is operational. Swiss measures the ion in the energy range of 100 electron volt to 20 kilo electron volt. Aspexes means Aditya Solar Wind Particle Experiments. Primary objectives is an understand the solar and interplanetary processes and the acceleration and energizing energization of solar wind particles. Aspects measures low as well as high energy particles of solar wind. About Aditya L1, it is the first Indian space-based observatory to study the sun. Our next news is places in news. Our today's famous place is Nepal, capital is Kathmandu. Recently, Nepal has become the first South Asian nation to formally register same-sex marriage. Politically features located along the southern slopes of the Himalaya mountain range. Its landlocked country located between India to the east, south, and west, and the Tibet Autonomous Region of China to the north. Geographical features: the country can be divided into five geographic regions: the Tarai Churia Hills or Sivaliks, Middle Hills and Mid Mountains, High Mountains, and High Himalayas stretching in parallel belts of succession from south to north. Major rivers: Kosi, Narayani, it also called Gandak, and next is Karnali. So there are three major rivers: Kosi, Narayani, and Karnali. Narayani is also called by Gandak name. Its highest point is Mount Everest. Our today's news is finish.